Well, hello there. If you're watching in video, you can see I shaved all of the hair off of my face, except for my eyebrows, because it'd be weird to not have eyebrows. But no beard, no hair on the top of my head. Used a blade. It's pretty close. Feels kind of neat. I did this just before vacation. Takes a while, but kind of cool. Good morning, everybody, and welcome. Today is Wednesday, October 9th, 2019. My name is Jeremy. There's a sign. And this is my first cup of coffee. We're drinking out of the rabbit mug. The advice from a rabbit mug. Don't worry, be happy. Very punny. The cat is in her winter spot under the small side table that hangs out next to the heat, the forced hot air vent in the floor. You can tell the seasons by where the cat goes. It's interesting. Well, yesterday, what was yesterday? Yesterday was Tuesday. Yesterday was not the most productive day. Had a great podcast interview. I've got like 4 intros and outros I gotta do. Those are on the schedule for today. Had a meeting. Went to the gym. Did a bunch of email. Actually caught up on email. And went over trivia night with some friends. We did okay. I did well in the mythology category. Missed one I shouldn't have. And one of my friends, she's a doctor. She did well in the science category, and thus we did well on those two. And those 2 categories represented almost half of our points across 7 categories. I don't know where they get some of these questions for trivia. Some of them were ridiculous. There was one category, it was directors, and they were just horrendously obscure movies. So, it's all good. I had fun. And here we are. It's Wednesday. What's today? Today, getting a bunch done. I think I have a call this morning. Coaching some CrossFit. We'll probably get out of here and go to the co-working space. Work from there. So, let's look at some questions. I know we got some questions. So, thank you to the 2 people who wrote in with questions. And Frank yesterday commented, "We must be the change we wish to see in the world." Of course, that's a quote from Gandhi. And yes, you have to model the behavior. You have to set the example. Nish Grout says, "In listening to you talk in a live broadcast about the data you analyzed," and I'm pretty sure he's referencing Martial Arts Radio Live from last Tuesday, "what were some of the most surprising or unexpected things you found?" Well, I'm always looking at the data, trying to make better decisions, figuring out what people want, where they come from, and all that. I think the most surprising thing is the sheer number of countries where we get downloads. I mean, not that it's all the time, but we get downloads, quite a few. And I find some of that surprising. I find it surprising that so many people in non-traditionally English countries are downloading this show. Now, of course, you could make a case for it, why it makes sense that, there are people that know English everywhere. There are people who move from the US or other English-speaking countries to other countries. And maybe that's it. I don't know. I have no way of knowing who specifically is listening. I have no idea of knowing how much they listen. Once they download, that's as far as we can know. Apple's doing some stuff where you may be able to learn more, but I haven't dug into that because you know what? Apple's a real pain to deal with on the back end. I don't own any Apple devices. Actually, I got something, an email from Apple the other day that they wanted me to renew my developer account, which for anybody who uses the Martial Arts Radio app was a necessary step to getting that up. And guess what? If I want to give them money, I have to turn on two-factor authentication for my account. Guess what I have to do that? I have to have in a Mac or iOS device. I don't own one. I own a tablet from, actually, I probably already donated that, but I had a tablet from like a first gen iPad. It's not new enough to do that. So sorry, Apple, I'm not going to be spending money so I can spend more money so I can update an app that doesn't get updated that I give away for free. I love you all, but the idea of spending, let's see, on the cheap end, could probably do for $300. Not worth it. Anything else unexpected in the numbers? I think the other thing that I find surprising is periodically we'll have big name guests on who attract an average amount of attention. Then we have other people who I don't consider to be big name guests, and they get tons of downloads. I can't necessarily explain why. I think it's because some people promote the show to their circles, their students, their friends, more than others. That's my guess. I want to go back to bed. Excuse me. Next question. Remember, if you want to ask a question, drop it below. Good morning, Jordan. Hope you are well. Hope everybody out there is well. What residential training facilities have you dreamed of staying at? And of course, this is a reference to Master Ian Armstrong's episode on Monday. And Cave says he wants to go back to bed too, no doubt. Master Ian Armstrong, Monday's episode, he runs a residential kung fu facility. Yes, Jordan, I've been great. Thank you. Residential kung fu training facility in Thailand. So where would I want to go? I'll be honest. I know that there are a number of programs, lots of programs, in fact, like this all over the place. I've dreamed of starting one myself, and I think that's actually the next question. So I won't get ahead there. But I don't know where I would want to go. See, when people ask me, where do you want to train and who do you want to train with? The answer is everyone. Because I learn so much and I enjoy traveling. And this is why I've tried to put together at times this kind of whistlekick tour, because it would just be an excuse for me to take a pseudo vacation and travel around. But the economics of it just don't make sense. Even if I get people to, throw me in their spare bedroom and feed me, just the logistics of travel and keeping things going here while I'm gone. I don't think we're too far off from that. So we'll see. But there are a lot of cliche things. I'd love to go do Muay Thai in Thailand. I'd love to go train at the Shaolin Temple. I'd love to go do some judo at the Kodokan in Japan and go to Okinawa and do some karate. I'd love to go to the Philippines and do some eskrima. I just love to train. I love martial arts. I love the people that it introduces me to. I love the fact that because of martial arts, I'm sitting here in my bathroom drinking a cup of coffee and there are people watching live. I explained this to somebody yesterday, this meeting I had yesterday. Was explaining the concept of first cup. And she was blown away. That we've built so much that this is something that people will do. I think it's pretty cool. I appreciate all of you. So I know that's not a very specific answer. I don't really have a specific answer. And I think that's okay. I hope to reach a stage in my life where. So what are the sayings? I'm sure somebody else has said this, but I don't know who to attribute it to. In business, you generally have. Thank you, Stacy. In business, you generally have time or money, and depending on what you have as the resource, it helps you understand what actions to take. But when you're starting a business, in entrepreneurship, you often have very little of both. And that's kind of where Whistlekick is. We've got a little bit of money and a little bit of time. And that's why most of what we do relies on time, because I can lose sleep. I can get people to help. I was reflecting on this yesterday, that there are a number of people who volunteer their help for Whistlekick. They're contributing, not a lot of time, but they're doing little things to help. Stacy, who's watching live right now, she helps out with martial arts radio behind the scenes and welcoming people to the group, because it's something that I like to see done, but I just don't have time. I'm fried. I'm really fried, guys. And so someday when we get on the other side of this, where I'm not fried and the company's doing better and there's some money there, I plan to travel around and train and meet everyone. I can't imagine anything better than taking a year and going around and training with all the people who've been on the show. I mean, how great would that be? Maybe I'll drag somebody along with me and make them film it all. I mean, that's the kind of fun stuff I'd love for us to get to. But we got to get through where we are now. Imagine for a moment that you have founded your own residential training facility. Where would it be and what would it look like? So the where. Gabe says that would be awesome, a Whistlekick training tour. Yes, it would. It absolutely would. I'd rent a bus. Well, I'd have to buy a bus because that would be an expensive year of renting a bus. Imagine a bus that just says Whistlekick down the side and just driving around and take out, a section of seats in the middle and put some hardwood down and make a training floor. Like I don't know, how wide is a bus? 8 feet, like an 8x8. It's big enough to do some forms, do some drills, set up a bunch of cameras, kind of like Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee. If you ever watch that show, you see that they got all the GoPros in the corners and everything. That'd be pretty cool. And then people could come on the bus and they could train with me. Oh, that'd be good times. All right. So if anybody has like $1 million that they want to contribute, let me know, because that's what needs to happen. If somebody has $1 million they want to throw in, you're getting equity in the company. Quite a bit. Won't give you all of it. I'll give you most of it. Not most of it. Much of it. Big chunk. And that's actually not a joke. We are looking for investment right now, but that's a whole other thing, and I'm not going to bore you guys with that. So where would it be? I would want it to be within an hour's drive of a major airport. I think that's important, because I want people to be able to get there easily. It should have a relatively mild climate. So we're talking maybe not as far north as where I am in Vermont. Could be somewhere like Pennsylvania, that latitude. Latitude, longitude. I don't remember. It's too early. And I would want there to be different spaces, different, not just one big room, but a bunch of different rooms. And here's why. So let me take a small tangent. November 16th in Woodstock, Vermont, we're hosting the third, fourth, wow, the fourth annual free training day. What's free training day? It is a completely free event where I get a bunch of people together to teach. And when the people are not teaching, they're training. And we let everybody else come in, and it literally is free. I generally have to spend some money, but it's free to everybody else. And what's fun about that event is that the people teaching, because they're not getting paid, you don't get people that are big ego people. And because those people are required to train in other people's sessions, you don't get ego people, and it becomes a very collaborative, sharing-based environment. My dream for a residential training facility is that, where the people who are teaching are also training. Let's say you come in and you teach for a week. Instead of being paid, you get another, let's say, week, 2 weeks, whatever, to attend at some point in the future as a student. Or maybe you get to donate that to somebody or raffle off, I don't know, right? So you get somebody that comes in, we say, hey, you instructor, come teach at Camp Whistlekick. Probably would need a cooler name than that. Come teach at Camp Whistlekick for the week. And we put them up and we feed them, and they teach whatever their specialty is, the things that they're best at. And maybe they're teaching a couple hours a day. And everybody else that's there gets to train with them, and maybe we have 4 to 6 hours of training a day. Maybe as much as 8, assuming that we can vary the intensity, right? You can't go hard 8 hours a day for a week. It's not, most people can't. It's not healthy. And so people, they're training and they're getting better and they're eating great food and they're building fellowship. And then maybe that person sticks around the next week and then they're learning. Because I think we're on the verge of this revolution in the way we look at rank and instructors in the martial arts. If you look at academics, if you look at traditional, college, university stuff, nobody walks around with their thumbs looped in their belt saying, I have a master's degree. Call me master. Very few people I know with doctorates want to be called doctor. It's an acknowledgement of knowledge and effort. And those people still want to learn. They still read journals from other people. They still contribute to their academic niche. And I think martial arts will become something like that. I hope. We kind of just have to wait for the current crop of people who do not think that way to retire. So that's what I would want. That's my dream. And I hope we get there. It wouldn't be free. The numbers wouldn't work on it being free. So, all right. Great questions. Long episode. But fun. Thank you. I needed this morning. Don't forget to subscribe. Turn on notifications, because we do the show every weekday morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern, and we do a whole bunch of other stuff. I just saw the first draft of Who'd Win, episode 2. It was nearly ready, so episode 2 should be out soon. You want to subscribe so you know when that's coming. What else? We got martial arts radio, Mondays and Thursdays. Periodically, we do some other things. There's new content coming. There's another thing that we're going to do. Ideas are fleshed out. I got to do one piece and then I can hand it off to call it the deputy. If you want to ask a question, I hope you do. Drop it below. I loved it today. There were questions from 2 different people. I'd love to have questions from multiple people every day. It would really make my morning better. It would make the show better. I love the questions that people ask, but diversity is good, right? We've talked about this. Now here's your homework. If you went away, if you were to design a week where you traveled and your training was part of that week and there were no other restrictions, what would it look like to you? And I think the answer to that question tells you a lot about what you value in your training and what you find enjoyable. And as you understand that, you can make sure you have more of that. So I talked about in my camp whistlekick the idea of having a bunch of people training together and contributing. Well, it's no secret that I train in multiple schools, and the schools that I train at are very open and appreciate sharing. It's something that's very valuable. So, thanks for sticking around. Long episode today, but good stuff. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. Take care. Peace.